Joe Hagan leads the U.S. delegation, and Kim Chung-sung, a senior official at the State Affairs Commission, represents the DPRK. At the same time, another American team arrived at the northern side of the inter-Korean border on Sunday to continue preparations as well. Last week saw diplomatic ups and downs after U.S. President Donald Trump called off the summit. CGTN's White House correspondent Nathan King has more.
Delicate diplomacy between the DPRK and the U.S. used to take months and years, but now it's being done in days. Just after that second and surprise meeting between the leaders of the two Koreas over the weekend, we saw an advanced negotiating team go into the northern side of the border, and that team led by Sung Kim, the former U.S. ambassador to Seoul and also a top negotiator with the North Koreans on nuclear issues. And this seems to be getting things back on track. This is what the U.S. president had to say on Saturday, and he was very optimistic.
A lot of people are working on it. It's moving along very nicely. So we're looking at June 12th in Singapore. That hasn't changed.
U.S. President Trump seems to be pushing this idea of sort of making DPRK great again. Pyongyang will get lots of economic assistance if it agrees to upfront denuclearization, that is, getting rid of all of its missiles and weapons before any relief is given. And this is also a line that was echoed by President Moon Jae-in of South Korea after his meeting with Kim Jong-un.
I told Chairman Kim that if he decides to put into practice a complete denuclearization, President Trump is willing for economic cooperation in ending hostile relations.
But it's not clear that the DPRK is ready to swap missiles for money just yet. While we haven't heard anything official from the Vice Foreign Minister, who usually comes out with statements, we did get this in the big paper in the DPRK, the Workers' Party paper. U.S. media is still building up public opinion that the DPRK comes to the negotiating table with the U.S. in a hope to get economic aid. As far as the economic aid is concerned, the DPRK never expected it. So this suggests Pyongyang pushing back on the latest U.S. proposal as well. So the question is June 12th still on? Are we going to get a delay? We'll see when this team comes back from the northern side of the border to see whether the DPRK and Washington are coming closer together on any agenda and any deliverables from this potential still summit. Nathan King, CGTN at the White House.